On my face a frown. I'm getting kinda sick and tired of cleaning up this town. When the office checked in to ask how we are, one day I told them how I felt, they sent me to HR. Now when they
how'd that happen?
To avoid the strife.
Oh.
On my face a frown. I'm getting kinda sick and tired of cleaning up this town. When the office checked in to ask how we are. One day I told them how I felt, they sent me to HR. Now when they...
Okay. Stage. There we go. And there we go. Okay, fine. I tried. Hey guys, how's it all going? Jeremy's here. Tiny Mike Taylor. Hi. Carl Jenkins. Hi. Ragged Roads. Dano. Hey, Dano's in here. Mike is here. Who else is all here? Critter Moto's here. Eric Sweet is here. Yeah. All right. Guys. Oh, John is here. Ragged Roads. Yes. Awesome. Is Corey here? Because the thing is doing funny things and I'm not doing them. So like, for instance, poking this thing up here. Corey, are you here? Are you hiding? I asked him to come in and moderate. Big shout out to Corey, by the way, MyADV360. This is on streaming on his channel as well. And Corey's been the nice guy to sort of let me jump on his StreamYard account. So thank you, Corey. I don't know who's doing all the funny button things. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we have a gremlin. We have a Christmas gremlin in here someplace doing funny button things. But anyways, hope everybody's doing well. What do we got here? Oh, Jeremy's little brother is here, Stu. Hey, how's it going? Good. I've heard a lot about you, and all of it was really bad. Just kidding. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so as you guys know, I got a couple of special guests here tonight. I got to make a little bit of room on my screen here. Bear with me. So we have Jeremy and Elle joining me tonight, and a little bit of info about them. So Jeremy, if you don't know, a Canadian motorcycle traveler, also author of Motorcycle Therapy, Through Dust and Darkness, plus a new beginner-friendly book called Ride Slow, Have Fun. He's also an aspiring musician. I tried to play his song at the very beginning. I hope it worked out. Best Day of My Life. Check out that EP. It's a lot of fun. He's ridden to over 30 countries. He has not one, but 2 YouTube channels. One's focused on the motorcycle travel. The other one's focused on his music. So you could check those out. When we talk to him, we'll ask him for his socials and we'll get that. Then we have Elle, who is also a Canadian adventure rider, a motorcycle trainer from Alberta. So that's pretty cool. And she's traveled the Pan American Highway with Jeremy. She was riding a BMW and he was riding a KLR 650. You can find her on the old socials, Elle on Wheels, at Elle.on.wheels, or at Ellon_wheels. Anyways, I'm blowing this intro, guys. Together, they did the Southward Chronicles trip from Canada toward Ushuaia, got stuck in Uruguay during the pandemic, and have been featured on Adventure Rider Radio, Overland Journal, and other shows. Much more highbrow than this one. So anyways, without further ado, let's bring them to the stage. Everybody, wait. Everybody, Jeremy and Elle.
Chris, or do you prefer we call you Chris Critter Moto?
You can call me Chris or Critter, so it doesn't matter.
Well, thanks for
whatever you're comfortable with.
I think that intro was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mumble.
Like
I don't. I honestly don't know if Corey's sitting in the background. He hasn't said anything, but all of a sudden, like, even like, why is this still up here? I have no idea why that's still up there. I don't there. Okay, I did that. All right. Bear with me. Okay, this is like my third time using StreamYard, so and there's so much into this little program, so many little cool things that you can do.
We are not experts at technology, and we had some challenges last time we did a live. Hey, Jeremy?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I know, and I mentioned to you guys, like, I always have issues. Always. Yeah.
I'm still on the fence about like doing my own live streams. I've only done a few of them, a handful, and have had mixed results. So I'm not sure. Jury's out for me, but I enjoy being on other people's live streams much better.
You can see us and we can see you, so I think we're good.
Yeah,
I think, and I can hear you just fine. People are okay. Watching from the PC and portrait mode is Carl. If you log out of that portrait mode on the PC and go to the widescreen, you're perfect. I don't know why it does that. Like it has a portrait mode so that people can watch it on their mobile.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're on the PC or on a laptop or whatever, you have to make sure that you click on the right stream, because you can click on the portrait mode and it will just throw the portrait up on the PC. So you have to log out or click out and then find the other one and then go back up. All right, so audio is good. Perfect. Great. Thanks. I'm always afraid because I don't wear the headphones that we're going to get reverb back and forth, but the mic seems to be working pretty good. So
nice.
Awesome.
Good. And I did change our camera view just so that both of you are now in portrait mode.
Awesome.
So if you need to point at me, I'm above you in portrait mode. Okay. And you guys are over there.
So are we on the same screen or are we portrait mode individually? How does that work?
In the portrait mode, we're both on the same screen. I'm above, you guys are below. And then on the wide screen, you guys are, that's right. There you go.
Okay. Perfect. Gotcha. We'll do a little Brady Bunch.
All right. Yeah. So Carl's jumped back over. Awesome, Carl. I knew you'd figure it out. Perfect. So, hi. How's it going?
Good.
So good.
Yeah. Happy to be here.
Good. I guess that's it.
Okay. Well, it's winter here. It's winter here in Alberta. I don't know where it is, what it's like where you are at, but we just got a dump of snow. We had a lot of snow about a week ago. Then it melted and turned into a sheet of ice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And now it's covered in snow again. So we have put the motorcycles away pretty much for the season.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes us a little bit sad.
Yeah, definitely. Any chance to talk more about motorcycles is a good thing.
Yeah, right.
But otherwise, we're healthy and, plodding along.
Yeah. Winters in Alberta are no joke. I worked one winter out there and it was fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It could be worse.
Working
It could be
construction out there.
Ooh.
That was not fun. At the end of the day, you don't wrap up your cords. You just leave them because they're
they don't roll anymore.
No, they'll still be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Here on the island, we just this is our second storm coming through, high winds and rains. For the kids, I do Christmas decorations and put up those inflatables and everything, and had to take them down the other day because freaking Frosty the Snowman was going for a ride, so I had to take them down. It blew the. I have a workshop out in the back. It's kind of like a mobile mash unit workshop, just a tarp, temp frame and a tarp. Blew the tarp off, blew the roof off my workshop, ended up in the construction yard across the alley. I was like, God, you got to be kidding me. It was insane. And it was so, the wind was coming through so hard. I actually have 1,500-pound test rope hiding it down or tying it down. And it took up and it lifted the frame and then the rope just went snap. And then everything went. I sat in my kitchen and I watched it and I went, oh, this is not good.
No.
That's a tomorrow problem.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, cool. How about for those of you that don't know? Oh, Dave's here. Hopeful Gear Dave. Hey, Dave, how's it going? Awesome. I just have to share this. I got this really cool little gift from Dave today. I don't know if in your riding circles if you guys show appreciation and love and affection by flipping the bird, but we do here. And he gave me this. It says
just
for you.
Yeah.
You open it up right there. Boing.
Nice.
So I thought it was pretty funny. It brought a smile to my face. It was awesome. Hey, Swabby G, how's it going? All right. So I did prepare a whole whack of questions, just so we can keep the conversation flowing, because I'm not much of a small talker. I find it difficult. Angel's here. Hey, Angel. And been a bit of a fanboy, actually, if I'm being honest, of Jeremy's for a while. I do have his t-shirt. I have all of his books. I have his CD. Met him for the first time. Gosh, when was it? The pandemic came in. So it would have been either the motorcycle show before, or the 1 year before the pandemic, or the 2 years before the pandemic. I think it was
19 or 18.
Yeah.
But I met you at the motorcycle show there, and I'm like, oh wow, I read his book, whoa! And then I've got all this stuff, and I did all my whatever uncomfortable fanboying things and everything.
Oh come on, it was awesome. I remember meeting you too. Wasn't that in Vancouver? And you were filming also Ryan F9 from Fort 9. Was that year?
That was the second year we came about.
Okay, so then we must have met in 2018, then January 2018.
Yeah, that's right. Something like that. A while ago. But so anyways, I've been following his journey for a while. And through him, I got to know Elle a little bit, and started following Elle a little bit. And then we saw each other were you at last year's motorcycle show?
Unlimited?
Yeah, the 25th anniversary. Yeah, I was at Nakas.
No, that's Horizons. But
okay.
But you weren't at the motorcycle show last year, were you?
Oh, that's right. No, I was in Manitoba. I was going through my banishment in northern Manitoba.
Right. Yeah. So I didn't see him at motorcycle show, but we did meet up again at Horizons,
right?
Which was great. And you would figure, so Jeremy and I have had this sort of online fun, lighthearted competition about who was going to make 100,000 subs first or whatever, right?
I think I put the bar at 1 million. We were going to race to 1 million.
Yeah. But you and I had talked online a couple times back and forth, and comfortable conversations too, and whatever. But again, I found myself, as soon as we get to Horizons Unlimited, and you two sit down at my table, I'm like,
oh, come on,
that's Jeremy. So I thought that was pretty sweet. So when I would never have thought to bring you guys on until people in the comments and the chats were saying, you should have Jeremy and Elle on. You should have Jeremy and Elle on. And here we are.
And by the way, as we're racing to 1 million subscribers, you have jumped out to quite the lead, my friend.
Yeah.
So I'm still languishing behind you. I've got my work cut out for me, but there's still time. I think.
Oh, there is still time.
Yes, I think
we're still young. We have time.
We're young.
You're still young, Jeremy. You haven't heard that for a while.
No, I haven't heard that for a while.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. So
I can jump in.
Pardon me?
One of your questions, I think, was about the origin story, and you are setting up the stage perfectly for it right now.
Oh,
when we're talking about fanboying, Jeremy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I can start telling the story if you're good with that, Jeremy. Of course, you'll jump in and correct me when need be.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get right into the questions that I had for everybody then, or for you guys.
Okay.
Or everybody to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The origin story. Elle, take it away. Me and you.
All right. Origin story. So, question is. I'm going to read the question first.
Go for
it. I went through the effort of writing these down. I have to read them.
Yes.
Okay. For folks who don't know you yet, okay, how did each of you individually get into motorcycle travel, and how did your paths eventually cross as riding partners?
Take it away, Elle.
Okay. I've been riding motorcycles since, 30 years or more. Like, I was a teenager, I'm pretty sure. Don't remember exactly what. They were cool since I first saw them and knew I wanted to ride them. I'd been riding for many years. I had been down to Panama and back twice. And then I went to a Horizons Unlimited meeting. And it was in Nakusp in BC. And if you don't show up early, you're not going to get a camp spot. There's just this overflow field. It's basically a soccer field, and it's wide open. There's no trees. There's no shade. There's no nothing. So I saw a spot down out of that area that was a little more private, a little nicer in the trees. And the person that I was with at the time, we set up our tent down there. And then we went to go register. And when you sign in at HU, they give you these things that you hang around your neck, and it says, my name is, my motorcycle is, this is where I've traveled, blah, blah, blah. So I'm wearing those, and we go back to our tent that is clearly removed from the overflow area and the regular camping area because we don't want to be surrounded by 64 other tents. We want a little more privacy. And some other tent is there. Like, what the hell? Who are these people? Just go put our tent right beside ours. It's not what I was looking forward to, but I'm going to practice being like mature and well behaved, which is not always coming naturally to me. And I go over to this other tent and I say hi to these people. I thought I'll welcome our new neighbors. And it's Jeremy and his girlfriend. And he's wearing that thing. And I stick out my hand and I am just about to shake it. And I say, hey, welcome. And then I see his thing and it says name Jeremy Kroeker. And I had just like 3 months earlier given his book, this book right here, to the person I was with. And they were reading it and they were telling me all about it. And they were reading it as if it was a how-to book. This guy went to Panama. We can do it too. I know you always wanted to. Let's make it happen. And we'll go together. And this guy wrote all about it. We'll just follow his instructions. This is not a how-to book.
No, it's not.
And so I'm just about to shake Jeremy's hand. And I see his tag says author of Motorcycle Therapy. And I'm like, holy beep.
Expletive.
This is the same guy we were just talking about and whose book we just read. So before he can touch my hand and shake it, I actually withdraw my hand and I start yelling. And I go, hey, you're the guy. You're the guy. You're the guy that wrote the book. And I start screaming for the person I'm camping with. And I'm like, you gotta get over here and meet this guy. Come here right now. And I'm screaming and making a lot of noise. Jeremy physically withdraws, just like a turtle pulling into their share. He like steps back 5 steps. He's cringing. He hasn't said a single word. And he's just like, what the heck is going on right now? So that is how we met each other.
Yeah.
Do you want to say more?
Well, I mean, the person that I was with at the time was a very jealous person. And I could feel like, not only like Elle's excitement was one thing, but then the daggers that were shooting out of my now ex-girlfriend's eyes, like I could feel them boring into me. And I was like, this is not good.
Yeah.
But anyway, as Elle likes to say, after that, I ignored her for 5 years. And
True.
Then,
True story. So any other time we were at Horizons Unlimited or the motorcycle shows, I would see him and go, hey, Jeremy. And I mean, I probably, to be fair, had cut my hair and made it different colors and things that would make it a little more difficult to recognize me. And Jeremy does see hundreds of people every day when he's signing books. But I remembered who he was. And I was like, hey, Jeremy, good to see you again. And he looked up from signing somebody's book and went, yeah, good to see you. And I went, he has no clue who I am. This is fun. I'm going to do it every single day. And I would. The motorcycle shows for 3 days in a row. Jeremy, good to see you. He doesn't know who I am, but this is fun. And so I basically stalked him for the next 5 years.
I was just going to say that you're kind of crazy stalker lady then.
Yeah. I had to wear him down.
Yeah, she did wear me down. Eventually, like the timing just worked out. And we met at another motorcycle show and the stars aligned. And that's how we connected with one another.
And each of us had already traveled. As you know, if you've read the book, Jeremy's already been to Panama and back. I had been to Panama and back twice. And on the second time, it was kind of painful for me because I met a lot of other travelers. You know, when you're on a bike with a foreign license plate and lots of luggage, then anybody else on a bike with lots of luggage comes and talks to you. Where are you going? Where are you from?
Yeah.
And I met a group of guys who were traveling all the way to Argentina. And it was incredibly difficult for me to like turn around at Panama and start heading north again and go back to Canada. And I really wanted to keep going south. I wanted to go all the way. Mm-hmm. And it was like an ache. I didn't want to go back to work. And I knew I needed to do the whole all the way down to Argentina, Tierra del Fuego trip. But I'm not rich. I need to go work. I need to save money. It's going to take years for that to happen. So in these years that I've been stalking Jeremy and saving money, we finally connect. And at some point in our dating, I say, yeah, I've done the Panama thing a couple times, but I've never been all the way to Argentina. I'm actually thinking that that's my next trip. And he goes, oh, yeah, me too. And I go, I was kind of thinking like 2019, maybe I should have enough funds to be able to do that by then. And he's like, oh yeah, me too. And I didn't say anything else. I didn't say we should go together because we were early days. We were dating. We weren't solidified. And so the idea was there, but it wasn't spoken about just yet.
Hmm.
And then we continued dating and we spoke about it more. And eventually it became, I think we're going to do this together. But I insisted, much to Jeremy's surprise, and I don't know why, still to this day, this is one of the biggest things that's always discussed when we talk about our trip to South America together. I carried my own tent the whole way.
Yeah,
and my own tools.
I have
and
that,
everything
I,
I
have that
needed to be
question coming up.
self-sufficient. Yeah. Because we weren't living together. I was
Right.
just some guy I'm dating. I don't know how it's going to go. It was a test.
Yeah, it was a test. When I went, when I did the trip that became motorcycle therapy in 2003, I was traveling with a friend that I didn't know very well either, and we carried one tent between us.
Well,
we
you're a
weren't-
braver man than I.
Yeah.
Just give me one second.
Sure.
The wind just blew this door real hard.
Okay. While you're off, I'll entertain
Yes,
the crowd.
entertain the folks.
Okay.
You need a guitar.
And then my origin story when it comes to motorcycles is growing up in Saskatchewan. I was born in Manitoba, raised in Saskatchewan. But when I was a kid, and I can't remember how old I was, maybe 12, maybe 13, my dad bought me and my brother Stuart and himself a little tiny Suzuki DS80 motorcycle. So I came to motorcycles by kind of chasing gophers around the prairies in Saskatchewan. And my dad, when he bought that little Suzuki, he asked the guy at the store, like, how big of a kid can ride these things? And the guy was like, well, I mean, they're rated for this much weight. He was like, yeah, but how big of a kid can ride them? And my dad did spend some time on that little DS80 with his knees like up around his ears.
Yeah.
The little two-stroke motorcycle just ripping around. That's how I learned how to ride motorcycles.
Did you get lessons? Did he teach you anything?
No.
Or he was just like, here you go, figure it out.
Yeah, the only lesson he gave me was this is the clutch. You pull it in when you want to stop, and you let it out when you want to go. And so I found out that when you just let it out, it would stall.
Yeah.
So you had to give it a little bit of gas, not too much gas, and then let it out slowly. So I figured that out myself, and I never used the clutch for shifting in between gears. Just bang, 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 bang.
How long did the bike last?
Well, it lasted for the life cycle of a little two-stroke engine.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we upgraded to like a DR 100 after that, and so I've been on bikes since I was 12 or 13. Got the door shut?
Well, actually, I had to go outside, and along with the inflatables is another inflatable. It's about 8 foot long, about 3 foot tall, and then it has a 6 foot tall Christmas tree, and then a ball and a candy cane, and it says "Merry Christmas."
Yeah,
it was in my neighbor's yard.
Oh no!
So I had to go and grab that. So that may be damaged. I may have some sewing to do. I'm not sure. And then I just deflated everything else and just hopefully it stays there.
For the night. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, we kept the stories flowing, so it's all good.
Okay, good. Perfect. What did I miss?
I missed my origin story on dirt bikes, but basically the summary is I was given a little dirt bike when I was 12 or 13. I can't remember how old I was. Stuart might be able to tell you. I can't, by the way, read any comments. So
you don't have comments up?
No, can't see them. But
okay, hang on.
I don't care. Like it's your live stream, so you could be running it. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
We got him. I just made a
Oh,
little.
wait. And then you ran into the back of a van, or was that Stuart?
Stuart ran into the back of the van.
With the bike?
Yeah. Did you read that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So now I can see comments. Yes.
There you go. Okay, great. Swabby, thank you so much for that super chat. There was one earlier too, Dan. Yes, Dan, thank you so much for that as well. Really appreciate it. All you guys, when you do super chat, that money goes right back into the foundation. Actually, everything that I get on YouTube and Patreon, everything goes right back into the foundation. As you all know, the foundation is what I do. Elle and her handsome stalker. Woo! Oh, that's off the beaten path. I forgot his first name.
Off the beaten path?
Scott.
Yeah. Is that Scott?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, no.
Yes. He was at Horizons as well.
By the way, Elle was the stalker. I don't know if you got that.
But that's not going to be the story anymore. Thanks,
Right.
Scott. We're going to change the narrative here.
Yeah, there you go.
Scott off the beaten path. I think he ran into his own little adventure in Mexico, maybe.
Yeah, I've been watching him on the old
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah.
He's down there. Yeah. Yeah. Angel wants to know if your former boyfriend is now with Jeremy's ex. LOL.
No, neither
No,
one of
pretty-
them could handle the
Each
other.
other. I agree. Yeah.
No, they would. It would have.
It would not last long.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
But I'm good friends, by the way, with her ex. Like, he's a good
Oh, yeah.
dude, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we're good friends, but yeah, I can go out for a beer with him if I want. Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
We're all adults here, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. So we talked about the origin story. We talked about okay, so we talked about the idea of riding down to the bottom of South America. What was the exact moment that you both went, yeah, let's do this? And maybe what was the scariest thing about saying yes and doing it?
Well, if my memory serves, and you might correct me on this one, we were both kicking the idea around, but I think that I decided that I was going to go, and like I am going, and that's what's happening in 2019. But if you want, we can adjust the timeline because I'd like you to come with me. But if you don't go or can't go or whatever, I'll see you in a year.
And that's probably the absolute best motivator for me. Like, I know this is your dream and I'm going to go do it. So, I mean, you don't have to come with me, but if you want to just stay working in Canada in the frozen tundra all winter instead of riding a motorcycle through perpetual summer, you can watch me do it and I'll post photos. Yeah, of course I want to go too.
I mean, I first had the idea in 1995. I was backpacking around Europe and I met this guy who was like, hey, when we get back to Canada, he was from BC, we should buy a couple of motorcycles and ride to Argentina. And I was like, yeah, he was even as specific as he knew the bike. He was like, we have to buy KLR 650s and we have to ride there. And I was like, okay, Mr. Moneybags, I'm barely scraping by. Like I could barely afford the flight home. And now we're going to buy motorcycles? That didn't seem like a possibility. But I never forgot that from that moment. And so that's where the dream kind of started for me, is 1995.
Yep. And the dream for me was, I mean, not going far enough when I went to Panama and knowing like I need to keep going as long as there's road. I want to keep traveling it.
Right.
It's just funds and time away from work. So I think for me, the scariest bit is that when I actually tell my job or my landlord or whatever that I'm giving a confirmed date of when I'm out, because it's like it's official then. And that's, I think, the scariest of any trip is like the very first step is the hardest one when you actually commit to it.
Right.
I remember when I went to Panama previously, we left in November and it had already snowed. So what we did is we took a U-Haul from Calgary to Vancouver. We dropped off the U-Haul and then we rode down the coast from there.
Right.
And the moment that U-Haul was returned, I was like, oh, well, this is it. Like, I can't go back across Rogers Pass over the mountains in a motorcycle and winter's here. Like, I guess I'm going and I can't come back until the snow melts. Like, I'm committed to it. It was scary and it was so liberating. It was so exciting and good. So, yeah, the scariest part is also the best part.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys already mention it? Like, how long had you guys been in a relationship before you decided to go together? Was the relationship still fairly new?
Yeah, we can never really remember exactly when we started to be in a relationship.
About 2 years.
Do you think it was 2 years? Including 1 year where it was pretty much like planning and we're going.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was only 1 year that we were together, and Elle lived in Calgary and I lived in Canmore. So even in that time, we weren't together, like we weren't living together. We weren't together a lot.
We weren't even seeing each other except for on weekends when one of us traveled to the other's town.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
there must have been that bit of a fear of is this going to work?
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
And probably the reason
100%.
why you packed your own gear in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Elle phrased it very eloquently. She said,
Oh.
"Yeah." She said, "Well, I'm bringing my own tent in case it turns out you're a jerk."
Sometimes I believe you when you say I'm eloquent. Why do I feel that connected?
And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I said to her, "Well, I think how I would have said that is, okay, let's each bring our tent. That way, if I decide that I need some space, I can take it. Or or that way, you know, if you want to leave,
If
then
you decide
that's
I'm a
fine.
jerk,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
that
right.
would have been more gracious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not good
Yeah.
at that.
What's the so looking back on that ride, and we're going to play with the relationship a little bit because I know a lot of us, myself, my wife doesn't ride. I wish she did. And I'm one of the people that are very envious of couples that can ride and adventure together. It's kind of cool, but there's also you know, some of us that think, oh my God, I could never do that. So let's talk about the biggest perspective shift. So shift, not shit. Looking back on that ride and everything that followed, what's one belief or assumption about life, travel, and relationships that completely changed for you? So did you have like a set mindset of how traveling with a partner was going to be? And then did it change throughout the whole thing? And
I, before this trip, underappreciated the importance of snacks. It's kind of facetious and kind of a joke, but also not. Like, so many problems can arise when a person is hungry, and although I'm 50 years old, I'm in my 50s, it still catches me by surprise. So I'm still like sniping or grumpy or whatever. And then Elle will be like, here's a chocolate bar. And I'll eat it and be like, oh, yeah, okay, we're cool. So it's a very minor thing, but it surprises me every time when we start bickering, which we sometimes do. I think we do pretty good, actually, at communicating, and that's because of you.
And age, honestly.
Yeah,
I think
that's
you
true.
just have enough relationships and have enough difficulties in life. And eventually, hopefully, you learn something from them. And I think if we had met each other and done this trip when we were both 20 years younger, we might not have survived it. We might have come back totally separately.
Yeah.
As one of my friends once said, we were all having some drinks after the motorcycle show, and his wife was there too. And he's like, wow, marriage is one massive compromise.
And everyone at the table was like, oh, I can't believe he said that in front of his wife. But he was just serious.
But it is true. And it's easier to do, like Elle was saying, you know, in the afternoon of one's life. I'm not going to say twilight of one's life.
Yeah, not yet.
No.
And I think like there's a story that you wrote for a magazine about when we pretty much broke up in Salarda Uni, in the town of a uni.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of it came down to us both being hangry. We didn't have breakfast that morning. We got on the road and we continued traveling. Then we were lost and confused, and the map wasn't taking us where we expected it to. And we stopped and turned around a few times. And now we're really bickering at each other. And
in the intercoms, like we had intercom system, which is sometimes a blessing and sometimes a curse.
Yes, that's right.
On this day, it wasn't a blessing.
And both of us got I think maybe as rude as we have ever been with each other.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, oh, you're being it. I can't say it. And so we agreed, okay, well, your map isn't working. Fine, I'll take the lead and I'll go because I think this is not that big of a town and we can figure out where we need to go. And I'm in the lead. And as we go 3 blocks away from where I'm sure the restaurants will be, Jeremy sees a sign for a different place. And he's like, I'm going there. And I said, okay, bye. We made a plan. I'm going to where we planned. You want to deviate? Go for it. Right. I don't care. I'm not following you. I'm going where I want to go. You're choosing to deviate. That's your problem. And as I kept driving, I'm like, we are in a strange city that we've never been in, a strange country that we've never been in. We don't have cell phone service to connect with each other. I mean, most restaurants will have Wi-Fi, but is this really what I want to be doing? And in that moment, I was like, yeah, I need a little bit of time away. And the moment that I finished eating my food that I sat down and ordered by myself in a restaurant by myself, I thought, oh, I don't feel so bad now. It was truly surprising how I was still annoyed, but not overly rageful. It really shifted quite a lot. And I thought, oh, a lot of that was just being hangry.
And I was fuming too. And so I had my food and then I felt a little bit better. And then just as I'm starting to go, yeah, you know what, that could have gone better. Then this Coldplay song comes on and I forget the name of it. but it was like a very sad Coldplay song, like "I will try to fix you" or something like that. And then that's exact moment, Elle rolled up outside the window and parked, and I could see her like silver helmet with a red ponytail.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm ready to talk about this. And so she came in, and
Just want to acknowledge that I was the one that made the first step towards reconnecting.
she often
That was a grand gesture on my part.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Quick shout out hi to Melissa from New Zealand. We got someone from New Zealand here. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Merry Christmas.
And
Melissa.
Angel wants to know, are you not scared to travel in foreign countries? The laws are different. You could run into bad people, border crossing issues, accidents. You're so far away from your friends and family to help you.
Yeah, sometimes.
I disagree that we're far away from friends and family to help. The motorcycle community is fabulous community to be part of.
Right.
I'm gonna not maybe get the country right, but I think it was Peru. We drove across the border. We came into the country. I think you had a flat tire anyway, somewhere along there. Some guy that I've never met before in my life just happens to be riding a motorcycle. Not even the same kind of motorcycle, not even an adventure bike, like completely different. And we pull over. He pulls in beside us, even though he doesn't need to stop. I think we were at a gas station. He doesn't need gas. And he immediately just comes right over to us. Where are you from? Where are you going? Here's my WhatsApp. You tell me if you need anything when you're in my country, anything. You need suggestions of places to go. You have any troubles, you let me know. We're here for you 100%. I'm so glad you're here to be in my country, and anything I can help you with. Like, that happened frequently.
Yeah.
It was great. It's
Seems to
fabulous.
be a pretty common experience with most travelers as well.
Yeah.
You always hear the same thing because, there are people that sit back and go, oh, I could never do that. I could never do that.
Yeah.
But then you talk to the people that have done it, and being at Horizons Unlimited and talking to some of the travelers there, it's really kind of awesome, if you will. I've even experienced myself. You put some bags on the motorcycle, you go someplace you've never been before, and people are coming out of the woodwork to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, where are you from? Where are you going? Oh, how long you been on the road? They're just so excited, and yes, there's bad people. You just have to be aware. I think, anyways, you just have to be aware of your surroundings.
A little bit of street smarts goes a long way.
Yeah, and don't be stupid. Yeah,
it's true. And we are using like a little bucket of luck that we carry around as well. Like, I used to be pretty laissez-faire about this, and I would always say, you'll hear this actually, a lot of people say, oh, the world is a beautiful place and it's not as dangerous as people think, and you'll be fine. And I used to be 100% in that camp, but now the older that I get, the more cautious I am thinking about the risks that I'm taking and acknowledging that we have been lucky. So I've traveled to some places that are legitimately, one could call, dangerous places. And, who knows, we might do that again in the future. Street smarts have some rules, like don't ride at night, et cetera, but at the same time,
it's worth it. It's just worth it.
It's worth it.
The world has some scary people in it and some scary places. I'm not going to stay home and avoid them for the rest of my life. That's not the kind of life I want to live. For me, it's 100% worth it.
Yeah.
The risk is worth the reward.
Can be. I mean, I do have 2 friends who were kidnapped, like separately in separate incidents.
And you weren't just riding a motorcycle to go sightseeing. You were in a different situation.
Yeah, that's true. I was working ostensibly as a freelance journalist in the Middle East.
Okay.
And on 2 separate occasions, one of them, came back a changed person, and the other one didn't come back. So, the world can be a dangerous place.
Yeah.
When you're traveling as a tourist, you're not in those spots generally like you are as a journalist, but I'll leave it there.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
There's a question earlier on. Somebody asked about the time to get to Panama and back. When I went, I was just trying to go to avoid Canadian winter. So 5 or 6 months was perfect. It's doable in shorter time than that, but I didn't want to come back to Canada till the snow melted.
Correct.
And then the road ending, it totally does end in Panama, but you just take a boat and go around the gap and keep going on the next road.
Yeah.
Yeah, through the Darien there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we unfortunately the Stahlrat, or as I say it, the Stahlratte, no longer plies those waters, but that was the way to go back in the day. When me and Elle did it, we were some of the final passengers on that ship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think it went for like another 6 months after we
It
did our
stopped
voyage.
during COVID, and then it tried to start up again after, and it didn't go for long.
Yeah, so
Right.
that was the highlight of our trip, though. 3 days sailing.
Yeah.
Met a couple of lifelong friends.
Yeah.
And just had a fantastic
Yeah.
voyage. Yeah.
3
Yeah.
days in picture postcard perfect islands.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. Awesome. Hey, I'm just going to shift gears just a little bit here, and I'm just going to bring Corey on. Hey, Corey, my ADV 360. So yeah, this is, like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, it's thanks to him that we're doing this, because he's letting me piggyback on his StreamYard. So thank you very much, Corey.
Thanks,
I really
Corey.
appreciate it.
Betcha.
Corey's a big supporter of what I do, and I'm a big supporter of what he does. Check out Corey's monthly lives. He's the camp cook guru guy. He's really trying to make a go of it, making all these awesome camp cook foods, low cost meals, that kind of stuff, because Corey and I are both cut from the same thread that we feel you don't have to eat freeze dried meals. You can eat like a king while you're on the road.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So Corey, hi. Thanks. I just wanted everyone to say hi to you and give you a hand. I'm having fun with this stuff. Yeah, that's good. Okay, well, bye. He'll just be in the background there, and he'll put up little comments if we don't see anything. And Scott Collins is in here. Scott, how's it going? Good to see you. Sideways Stan is here. Let's see. Dan, stop doing that. I really appreciate it, but stop doing that. Dan just put another super chat down there. Thank you. And yeah. Okay. Let's go with so we've done talking about the relationship, talking about the travel. Something that always gets me. Now, I've not done any big travels like you. Like you guys. My longest one, I've spent 21 days on the bike, and it was basically Oregon and Washington, but it was a long thing. Having said that, though, even when I go to even like Horizons Unlimited, I'm gone for a week and then I come back. I always have adjustment syndrome. So the thing for the question for you guys, the biggest perspective shift. So looking like you're on the road for so long, where did it go? Oh, from normal life again. How did you guys get back into the normal life?
What's normal life?
There's a thing that me and Elle talk about. I'm sure we're not the only ones to talk about it, but we call it post-trip depression. And just like being hangry, it can surprise you, and it does surprise me every single time it happens, because it's not immediate for me. So I'll get back to my regular life or whatever and go back to work, and everything's going great. And then maybe it's 6 months later, and I'll just feel like I'm dragging and heavy, and like, what is going on? And I can't figure it out. And then it's like, oh, right. There's this lack of stimulation all of a sudden, when you're on the road, you go to buy a can of tomato sauce, and
it's an adventure.
Yeah,
because
right.
You're thinking about how do I say this in this language, and how much money do I need, and what's the right currency, and what does that translate to in Canadian dollars? How much am I even spending on this, and where do I go to pay for it, and how do I figure out? Like, it's all an adventure. Every single day, everything you do, and then when it's not an adventure anymore, it's a letdown.
Yeah, but again, it's surprising. It catches me unawares almost every time.
Just because you're expecting it and you're aware that it's going to happen doesn't stop it from happening, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
I don't love it. If I had enough finances, if I was somehow magically independently wealthy, I would travel as much as I could. We would snowbirds. I would leave Canada every winter. I don't like being here when it's dark at 4 p.m. Not fun for me. But just got to start dreaming about the next trip. That's one of the things that another fellow traveler said to me that I have never forgotten, is after the first Panama trip, I was like, I got to wait a whole nother year to do this again, or multiple years to go further. Like, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to get up out of bed every morning and go to work. Work is boring. I don't like it, but I have to do it. And they said to me, but now you know what you're working for.
Right.
And I went, oh, yeah, I do.
Goal and away you
And
go.
so I made a commitment to myself. Like, I don't spend money at Starbucks. I don't, I have roommates. Like, I don't really want to have roommates in my 50s, but it allows us to save money for the next trip. I make compromises in my life now that, you know, aren't always the most convenient or the most comfortable, but are worth it to me so that I can save money and we can plan the next trip.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's what keeps it alive. It keeps getting out of bed and going to work every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm always, once I start to feel down a little bit, like I was feeling down not too long ago, and I just pull up the maps and I start going, hey, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like myself, like I said, I haven't done big trips like you guys. I'm excited to get home. I'm excited to see the kids, see the wife, see the dog, all that sort of
Having
stuff.
a family, yeah. We give up having a dog. That sucks.
Yeah.
But
And one thing about living on the island is, you know, I can hang on to that travel excitement until I see the ferry. And as soon as I see the ferry, that's when it washes over me. That's when I'm like, oh, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. It's done. So it doesn't hit me 6 months later like it does with you, Jeremy. It hits me like right now and then.
Immediately, hey?
Yeah, it's hard to get up in the morning, hard to go to work. You're like, what's the point? One big thing I noticed, and I'm wondering because you guys were living off your bikes too. When I came back from my very, very first trip on the motorcycle, you know, acclimating back to normal life and stuff, one thing that hit me so hard was, you know, I was wandering around the house and I'm going, and that's all you need. And then you start wandering around the house and you're like, well, I don't need that. I don't need this. I don't need that. I don't need this. I mean, did you guys, after a big trip, do you guys come back and I don't know if you have lots of stuff, but you would like purge out and away you go, or do you notice the same thing?
I'm kind of in the purging mode right now because we do collect stuff. We don't have, see, the thing is, we live in a very small condo because we live in a very expensive place, part of the world. We live in Canmore, Alberta.
Yes.
And it's bananas how expensive it is here. So we've got a tiny little condo, but it fills up like very quickly with little books and like trinkets and stuff like this. So I am actually kind of in purging mode right now. But yeah, like when you're on your motorcycle for a year, you've got everything you need. You don't have comfort. Like there's some comfort stuff that you miss, like a nice chair and, you know, a reliable place to sleep and whatnot. But
right,
you're not lacking for stuff, really. What do you think, Elle?
One of the times when I came back from Panama the first time and I knew I wanted to go again, I purposefully didn't collect things so that I could try to like not let myself get too comfortable and keep that mission alive of getting ready to go again whenever I was financially able. So I rented a room from roommates. I didn't get any dishes. I didn't have any kitchen stuff. I had a bed, and I think I maybe had like a favorite duvet and a couple of boxes that I had stored at my sister's of personal items, and that's about it. I do have a couple more things now, and I don't like the idea of paying for storage for things that I'm not even using right now in order to go away for 6 months or a year or however long. But it's hard to find the balance of like, there's a few things that are personal to me that I do want to keep. But generally, I think Jeremy and I are really paired well in the idea that we are pretty good at being uncomfortable and starting to want a little more comfort as we get older.
Right.
Speaking of storage and having too much stuff, I have like, this is a plug. I have 3,000 copies of this book here.
There you go.
Because Motorcycle Messengers 2, that's a collection of short stories. The plan was, had it published in 2019 with the plan that we were going to go to Argentina and come back and we'd have all this momentum because people are following our adventure and stuff. And then I was going to go to the motorcycle shows with a full head of steam and be like, this is my newest book. And then COVID happened and we got stuck. And so now I've got like 3,000 copies of that book that are still sitting in storage.
And it's a great buy. It's a great buy. So anybody who's in the chat watching this or watching it in future, where can they buy it?
Right now, the easiest place is to go on my website, which is motorcycletherapy.com.
Okay.
But you can also get it at an online retailer. But even better than those two places, if you ask for it at your local independent bookstore, They may not have it on their shelves, but they can order it in.
You can get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think they got
I
it.
recommend it. It was a good one. I actually have enjoyed all of your stuff. So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And you should know that that's actually saying a lot, because I'm not a reader, like at all. I prefer to look at pictures.
Yeah, right. Well, that's where motorcycle therapy is really good too, because it's a very small, slender tome, and it's like in little chunks and stuff like that. So, yeah, Through Dust and Darkness is a bit more. It takes you a bit more energy to read it, but
right. But I enjoyed it. It was good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, pardon me. All right, let's go into. Let's see, how is this going here with my little flow here? Let's do a totally off related travel and everything, I think. Yeah. Elle, here we go. One for you. Training and confidence. Okay. So as I mentioned at the botched intro, you're a motorcycle instructor. So you're a trainer as well as a traveler. What are the most common confidence hurdles you see, especially for newer or returning riders? And how do you like to help people get over them?
I'm going to go a little bit into gender, I think, partly because it's a passion. But I think when I see people struggling, generally, not always, men have an easier time. When we're teaching at school, we have smaller bikes, like 200cc. I think our largest bike is 300cc's. So they're not huge, tall adventure bikes. If you're a guy and you're the size of Jeremy, if you start to tip over and lose your balance, you can usually just use your muscles to go and hold the bike back up again. And so when you stop a little too quickly, you're jerky on the front brake or something like that happens, the guys tend to get away with it a little more. And the women have generally, not always, a little less upper body strength. And so the bike might drop a little more often if they're female. It's not a big deal. You're not going to be the first person to drop a motorcycle in a school that's designed to teach brand new people who've never ridden motorcycles before, and you're not going to be the last. It's not a big deal. But if you happen to be a female in a male-dominated field, if your instructors are male, if all the other guys in your class are male, it is daunting. And I think that generally speaking, as a society, guys are given dirt bikes as kids, and they are told, go hurt yourself. And generally speaking, girls don't have that opportunity as much. So they already are beginning with a disadvantage, and then it feels even more daunting and overwhelming. So I just like being able to say, hey, I don't care if anyone else is watching right now. I don't care if you cry. I don't care if you drop the motorcycle 6 more times. I'm going to be here to help you pick it up. And you've paid me money to do what you need to do to practice to get better at this. So let's take our time and keep practicing and doing it. You're not supposed to be good at it. It's day one. You're new. But I also think that the physical size and setup of motorcycles is something that we can all adjust for ourselves. And women, again, generally speaking, aren't taught as much mechanically because the dads in our lives are busy teaching the boys that kind of stuff. And so it might feel a little more foreign or confusing, but just setting up your seat height, setting up your handlebar grips so that they're comfortable position for you, setting up your levers so that if your fingers aren't as long as the guy's fingers that the bike is designed for, you can reach those levers a little easier and without your hands getting tired as much. Making those little tweaks can make a huge difference.
Right.
I had no idea. I just wore men's gear on a men's bike and rode around. And luckily that worked out for me until I learned there was more options. So now I say, get the aftermarket levers, do what you can to set up your bike ergonomically for you.
Right.
Even if it's all pink and baby blue gear.
Why do they make the women's stuff pink all the time? What is up with that?
I don't know.
Market.
You mentioned that most young boys get dirt bikes and stuff. Well, I didn't get a dirt bike, but I will say that all 3 of my daughters have dirt bikes.
Right on, you're being a good dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually didn't contrary to what it sounds like, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, but we had enough to scrape together for a little dirt bike and hockey gear. So those are the two things that we spent money on. So hockey was what you do in the winter, and dirt biking is what you do in the summer.
Right.
And so that was it.
Yeah. I actually didn't find the dirt until 2015, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
But I've been riding street forever. And
Nice.
I wish I had gone the other way around. I wish I had hit the dirt first, because I just love the dirt so much more.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
I see, by the way, in the comments, I see a couple of people saying oscillatorpress.com. That is actually the correct website. I just tell people motorcycletherapy.com, and it goes there. Easier to remember.
Right. Yeah, that's Corey doing his thing behind the scenes there. Thank you, Corey.
Yep.
Thank you. We appreciate you, Corey. Just had to do that again. All right, one for Jeremy. Now this one kind of comes. I consider myself a bit of a, I guess the new term is creative as well. Like the old term was artist, right? I do lots of painting, drawing, that kind of stuff. You do art through Word. So writing versus video.
Mm-hmm.
So you've written books. You tell heck of a great stories on YouTube. I always love the commentary and the story that goes with your YouTube videos.
Thank you.
Which one of those two scratches the itch better? Carefully crafting words on a page, or throwing people right into the scene with the camera and rolling?
Yeah, I would say that writing is more satisfying to me, but it's much more difficult. They're both difficult. I think being creative, for me, is not effortless. Well, it's not effortless for anybody, but I find it particularly hard. But making videos for me is maybe a little bit easier because my mind doesn't have to be quite as calm and quite as focused. I can be a little bit more utilitarian. Like I can organize footage, and that's part of making a video or whatnot. But if you're writing, it's just this blinking cursor on a white page that's just staring at you, and you've got really like a lot of time to think and meditate on what you're trying to say. But ultimately, I would say because it's more difficult, it is more satisfying. I've just not had a quiet mind these past 2 years.
Right.
So for me, writing has been incredibly arduous. Whereas videos, even if I am distracted or maybe feeling down or, stressed out or whatever, I can still kind of move forward making videos.
The art of making the video is almost distracting in itself. Distract you from everything else. And there we go. I'm curious, when you do your videos, do you have a script already in mind or written down, or do you just put everything together and then tell your story and edit that way?
Yeah, that's generally how I do it. I do spend a lot of time writing the voiceover, and I'm trying to do that less. Like I wish that we could be a little bit better at capturing the story in real time. Yeah.
Right.
But without filming too much, because, they say film for the edit. If you're capturing 14 hours of footage, that's a problem.
That's a lot of editing.
Trying to make a 14-minute video.
That's me, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Or
actually,
sometimes I press
you
off
have your camera on all the time, but it's facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I turned it off. I actually turned it on, and it got the top of my head.
Yeah. Oh,
I've got like 14 hours of inside the pocket footage as well.
You can see the light just blinking inside her bag. Yeah. It's great stuff. But I have to watch it all because you never know if it's like she might say something.
Yeah. When I'm notorious for leaving the house without the SD card in the camera, or batteries for the drone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was started making, I would do the same thing, and I would have 14 hours worth of 16 hours worth, read through everything. And now I kind of reason why I do like this last year, I filmed very little because I was being present and in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And just enjoying the ride. And that's because what I had started doing for my videos is I'm now riding for the video. I'm filming for the video.
Yeah.
Right. So I already have kind of like a thing in mind before I've even walked out the door.
Yeah.
And yes, it has taken that editing process from 4 days down to about 6 hours. But it's also kind of missing a little bit of that je ne sais quoi or whatever, right? So it's kind of a weird one to kind of dance around or get or.
Yep.
But once you, I think, well, you look at some of the big people, right? And I think once you do get that recipe, that pattern,
Mhm.
and it works for you, then it just becomes easy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit of a template, which can be useful. It can be limiting a little bit too, but and also a lot of the bigger YouTubers that you're mentioning, I think I can think of a few people off the top of my head. A lot of them are individuals.
Yes.
So like it is a very I don't want to say selfish pursuit, but it's solitary. Like when you're sitting in front of a computer and editing. So I think if you're traveling solo, you can think of what you need later, collect it all, no surprises, and then sit down solo and do it. But when you're traveling together, sometimes, like I've always said that, Elle should have a camera on her 24/7. Like, walk out the parts where she's going to the bathroom and stuff like that, but otherwise, film it all, because sometimes it's hilarious.
Right.
But that would be too much editing.
And we'll get to one of the main reasons why we are doing this, and we're shifting gears again completely. But we'll sort of, because we're still talking about writing. You've got a new book out.
Yeah, it's an ebook right now. It's called Ride Slow, Have Fun, Advice for Adventure Motorcycle Beginners. And basically, I was given this book assignment by a friend of mine named Mark Richardson. He's also a great writer. He's written a couple of books, including a biography of Robert Persig called Zen and Now, which is fantastic. Right. So he's a friend of mine, and I called him. I'm just like, I need to talk to somebody who is a writer. And he pops to mind. And I'm like, dude, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I can't get myself moving. And he's like, well, you and I, we write difficult books. What if you wrote an easy book? And he said, just sit down with a cup of coffee every morning and spend half an hour, write a maximum of 200 words a day. And then if you do that for a summer, then you've got a $4 ebook, and you can just publish that or not publish it. Like, just get yourself moving. And that's what I set out to do. But then as soon as I started taking on that project, then it became actually more important to me.
Right. So
I did then, ironically, spend hours and hours working on it. But it did get me moving, and I finally published it. So it's
nice.
Called Ride Slow, Have Fun. It's an ebook only right now. I might do other editions going forward. And if I do that and expand the material a little bit, then I might put it out as a paperback. Right. Or maybe even an audiobook too.
Mm-hmm. And it's basically pointers, right? Which was why it was a, quote, easier book to write.
Right.
But it's not just pointers. What I love about your writing, Jeremy, is you always insert a little bit of your sense of humor into everything. So even if you think, like, I already know how to ride an adventure bike, check it out, because even as someone who gets to live with you every day and be familiar with your sense of humor, it makes me laugh out loud. I'm like, oh, you said that. That's good, Jeremy. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. So like I did put a little, I put a lot of effort into it, but it is like, I want to under promise and over deliver. So I had somebody who purchased it this summer, and they told me they read it in half an hour, and I don't know how that makes me feel. Like,
that's okay. That's an accurate assessment for that person.
It is a very short book. It's very digestible, and you might find something in there that's for you. Might be an encouragement for you to get out and try a new adventure.
What would be one piece of advice that you would, if you could, tattoo on a new rider's fuel tank?
Well, I keep coming back to bring snacks.
Snacks are important.
Yeah, bring snacks. Also, like I do a lot of solo riding, and I do not take my own advice, but I recommend that you have some communication system that you can depend on to get yourself out of trouble if you're riding solo. But really, the main advice is right there in the title.
Yeah.
Ride slow
and have fun.
Have fun, yeah. Like when Elle and I are traveling in foreign countries, we, with one or two exceptions, we are not pushing our limits. Like we are riding well within our means. And yes, I did crash in Chile going, I don't know, 60 kilometers an hour, flipping over.
Cartwheel, not just like, oops, bike cartwheeled.
It's hard to cartwheel a KLR 650, but with full of loaded bags, but you can do it.
Yeah.
But generally, we're going quite well within our limits.
And I would say another one is try not to pack too much, but that's
Yeah.
really hard to do. We do it all the time. And so I think one of the things we do now, or really successfully last trip, going to South America, is we left Alberta, we went to BC, and there was a motorcycle event happening. A friend of ours, Trent, was putting that on, Wanduro. And a lot of our friends were there with four-wheel vehicles. And the very first night of our trip, we only traveled like 300 kilometers maybe.
Yeah.
And as soon as we unpacked and tried setting up a tent, we were like, oh my God, we have way too much stuff loaded on our bikes. And we were able to just take one night and go, I don't really need this. I don't really need this. I don't really need this. Oh, you brought that too? Well, we don't need two of these. And we filled up a friend of ours' car.
Except for the tent.
Yes. And it's inevitable. It's difficult to put yourself in that frame of mind you're going to be in 6 months down the road when you haven't even gotten on the road yet. So you're probably going to overpack, but try to find ways to lighten the load as much as possible once you get going.
Yeah.
And have a trial run. Go camp for one night.
Oh, that's the big one.
Yeah.
Trial runs for sure. Yeah.
Just to quickly answer Angel Face Motor Rider there. She asks, what's the smallest motorcycle someone could reasonably travel across Canada on? Well, Ed March did it on a Honda C90.
Yeah.
So I would say a 90cc motorcycle. Yeah. You could probably get away with something smaller than that.
Possibly.
But if your question is what's feasible and comfortable, then probably a bigger motorcycle. We just bought a couple of Honda CRF 300s.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to traveling with those.
Lighter, smaller, easier to pick up when you tip over.
And also we're in our 50s now.
Yeah.
And speed and performance is not as important as it was to me as a young man.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that goes back to ride slow, have fun. That's something that I actually quoted from Jeremy's book before, like in those 5 years I was stalking him. I was actually giving a presentation at the motorcycle show about my trip to Panama. And I quoted him in his book where he said, riding through foreign countries is easy. Stopping is hard. And I think a lot of people that we see on YouTube or wherever, they do that. They're like, I went through this many countries, or I did it in this amount of time. And that's cool. That's an adventure. But stopping and slowing down, not just for safety, but to see the world and to stop and have a moment to take it in and explore the culture and the scenery and the people and everything, it's worth it. And it really makes it a much more diverse adventure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know for myself, getting into the adventure world, if you will, with Lucy, my 250 CRF 250L, it forced me to ride slow.
Yeah,
it's not fast, and it forced me to take the road less traveled.
Yeah,
and I'm so thankful that I started my ADV addiction that way. Rather than on a big, powerful Africa Twin or whatever, right?
And then you wave at the cows or the sheep when you go by, smell the air a little more, and you feel more relaxed. You're not like just trying to pay attention to the high speed road. You can be in the world.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then we got how's it going? Back Road Bike Adventures. Nice to see you here. He's just taken in BC, and I have to echo him there, man. There's so much to see here in BC.
Yeah, BC's fabulous for motorcycle riding. Yeah,
exactly. You wouldn't ever have to leave Canada, and we actually know that. The reason that we travel is like, I always think of myself as a traveler, and I use a motorcycle. Some people think of themselves as motorcyclists. But like, I was traveling before motorcycles were part of my life, really. And so I like seeing the culture and the architecture and the different customs. And, otherwise we'd never have to leave Canada. It's vast and beautiful. And
we're really lucky. We've had people from other countries come visit us, like people who live in Europe, and they get here and they're like, you have like land that is just available to go explore. Not everybody has that.
True.
We're
that.
Lucky.
Yeah.
I'm planning on doing a lot of BC this coming year. I've seen more of ashamedly so, admitting whatever I'm trying to say. I've seen more of Oregon and Washington than I have of BC. So I need to get and see some more of BC for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Ragged Roads. Good night. Thanks for hanging out. He had to book out. Let's see here. Riding styles. I want to talk about. We're back to the couple thing. Kind of bouncing all over the place here. But riding styles as a pair. So when you two are traveling together, I know myself. I have a few chosen people that I love to ride with. Otherwise, I would rather ride solo. But when you travel together now, how do your riding styles complement or clash with each other? And do you find that you sort of naturally went into sync, or do you have to negotiate a pace or a risk? Or
It's a constant.
That is one of the things that we bicker about. We had the opportunity to ride 2 BMW 1200s across Europe this summer.
Yeah, watch that.
Yeah, and we had friends that wanted them moved from one country to another, and we said, "Yep, we'll do it." And I've never ridden a bike that powerful and that fast and that high performance, and it was amazing. And I was kind of seeing what the limits of that bike were, but I never found the limits of the bike. But even so, I was going quite a bit faster than you.
Jeremy generally goes faster, and I generally go slower, and that's a constant thing that we're always talking about. And I think it's like actual riding pace, and then on different terrain too. Jeremy's much more comfortable on gravel than me. I wish I had started riding on gravel so much earlier, but I didn't even know it was a thing. Now trying to get more competent and confident on gravel, on loose terrain is harder at an older age when I'm more worried about hurting my body.
Yeah.
And I think the lighter bike will help, but Jeremy just goes. And there's another friend of ours that we sometimes travel with, and they know when we're on a gravel road, the two of them just go ahead and leave me alone. Don't try to say, hurry up. But if you go faster, it'll feel better. But it's harder when you go slower. I know that intellectually. I understand it. You're not telling me anything new. But my body is just like, I'm not going to relax if I go faster. So I'm trying to find my own pace. Don't stress me out. Go have fun. And when there's an intersection, just stop and have a sandwich and wait for me. And I will get there when I get there. Yeah. So that works, but it's also important, I think, for you and him to go riding together sometimes without me. So you guys can actually go enjoy your pace, Brian.
Yeah.
And then when we're traveling long distance together, it's not just the physical speed of the bikes, but how quickly we move on day after day as well. I'm like, hey, the reason we are on a trip is to see the world. Let's stop and look at it, not just drive past it. And Jeremy's like, but we got to go here and we got to get there and we got to move faster. And it's true. We were going to South America and we wanted to be in Ushuaia at the tip of Argentina when it was summer for them, not winter. And if it was only up to me and not Jeremy, it would take a year longer. Like that whole trip would be double.
You might still be on that trip, actually. You might not have gotten...
I want to see all the things. But what's over there? And let's go look over there. And what's that?
We decided, you know what, we're going to try to make it to Ushuaia for Christmas because that's a really popular place to be at that time of year. Okay, December 25, we're going to be in Ushuaia. We quickly realized, oh no, we're not traveling that fast. Okay, well, what if we make it New Year's? So January 1, that's pretty good. Okay, and we realized then, like, nope, we're not going to do that either. So I was like, look, we have to be there in January. In January, we must be there. And we arrived on January 31st.
Yep.
Wait, was there 31 days in January? The last day of January. And that was because of me going, we can't do this. We can't go here. We'll catch it on the way back. At this point, we still thought we would ride all the way back. So like, we'll do it on the way back. We'll do it on the way back. We'll do it on the way back. And finally, Elle was like, we're going to Machu Picchu and we're doing it right now.
Yeah.
And I went, okay. And I was reluctant because I thought, let's do it on the way back. Little did I know that we were going to be stuck in Uruguay for 5 months, not ride home. So I'm glad that that did work out. We got lucky with a few decisions that we made.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that segue. You mentioned Uruguay.
Right.
So during that, you two ended up, if for those of you that don't know and didn't follow the whole story in the videos, but you ended up holed up in a small apartment in Uruguay during the pandemic, far from home in your original plan.
Yes.
So was there a specific evening or conversation there that really reframed what the whole South America adventure meant to you?
No, well, Elle, I mean, we adjusted to the reality at different rates.
Yeah.
There again, like I'm a faster rider than Elle, and I think I also in this case adjusted to the reality a little quicker too. Like, oh, our trip is done. We're not gonna ride home. And Elle was hanging on. Like it's a long story. We could tell it, but I'll just quickly say that we had to rent an Airbnb. There was no other accommodation for us. So we got into an Airbnb and we got it for a month. And Elle was like, no, let's get it for a week. I was like, no, we're getting it for a month and then we'll see what it looks like after that. And then a month goes by and I'm like, okay, let's opt in for another month. And Elle's like, no, just another week. And I kept on going, we're going to be here for a long time. And Elle refused to accept that.
We stayed in that 315 square foot Airbnb for 3 months. For 90 days, we were just in the same place.
Yeah.
And then we stayed in Uruguay for another 2 months after that. But at least we started talking about shipping the bikes back or figuring out what to do with them, if anything.
Well, and Elle is much better and more patient at researching than I am, but she refused to research shipping options home. So
she wasn't giving up. She wasn't giving up.
No.
Right?
So I'm like, I'm going to start emailing these companies and making phone calls and see if I can figure out a way to ship home. And she was like, fine, do whatever you want, but we're riding home.
I wanted to believe it could happen. Yeah. I was mourning and I wasn't ready to let go.
Right. Let's see here. Next one was, there's a lot of stuff that would go if you're stuck in a 315 square foot apartment. Adventure Rider Radio followed your Southward Chronicles, basically in real time, pretty much real time.
Yeah.
Anything that the listeners at home didn't hear or didn't, any big arguments, mechanical disasters?
Well, what? Sure. Like, I mean, there's stuff that you can't get to in an hour conversation once a month. That's true. But I think we were pretty honest and forthcoming. Yep. Like, I think we even talked about separating in Bolivia. And we, I don't know. I just feel like I didn't have anything to be embarrassed about. And I'm kind of an open book. I think I value privacy a little less than Elle. And I tend to be a little bit more vulnerable in my writing and my videos than Elle would be if she was doing the writing and the videos.
100%. When I first agreed to go on a trip with him, that was another reason. I knew he was a writer and I knew the kind of writer he was. Like, I read this and saw how he highlighted the challenges that he had with his travel partner. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to be your travel partner, I want editing privileges if you decide to write a book. And he immediately said, absolutely no. You don't get to put conditions on my writing. I write what I write. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not sure I want to travel with you. Like, that's a legit concern I had in my brain. I'm like, oh, what if he paints me in a not very nice light?
Yeah, I mean, that is a risk. And my friend in motorcycle therapy, by the way, someone is asking if they're going to start with one of my books, which one would they suggest? Yeah, you probably want to start with the first book I ever wrote. Yeah.
That was going to be my answer to that question too. Yeah.
So there, I would start with that. And in that book, me and my friend Trevor, I didn't know him very well. We met in Europe in 1995. We traveled together and we didn't get along very well. And I write about him in a very non-flattering way. So that is a risk you take when you travel with a writer. However, I will say very quickly that, and not to spoil anything, and I hope I'm not spoiling anything, but in motorcycle therapy, there is a turn where I realize that, I am the problem. So like there is self-reflection and there is a course correction, but if you're the person that's been like dumped on for, 100 pages, and then the author suddenly goes, the problem is me, it's not enough to, to undo all of that. So Trevor and I had some difficult conversations after that book came out. And, I don't talk to him anymore. I don't see him, but I think we could go for a coffee together if we ever found each other in the same part of the world.
Right.
Hi, Trevor. I know you're not going to watch this, but I do sometimes still feel some regret for the way things were handled.
Okay, another question from the crowd there. getting into this.
Oh yeah.
So, do you have a comm system to communicate? And if so, what brand are you using?
Yep. Well, Elle always calls it something different.
Yeah.
It is a Senna, and it was gifted to us actually by your company. So it's the only sponsorship that we've ever. Is it the only sponsorship that we've had? We've had they gave it to us in
Yeah.
exchange for putting some stickers on our motorcycles. So thanks to
Motology School.
Motology School in
Yeah.
Calgary, Alberta.
That's the
Nice.
school that I teach with and have been teaching with for over 10 years. And when I said, I'm not going to be around to teach because I'm going to go ride my motorcycle, hopefully every motorcycle school owner understands that's a risk with their teachers. And I said, I'll come back after and teach some more, but this year I'm going to go do this journey. And they were like, oh, good for you. Right on. Here, let's give you something to help support your journey. And they gave a comm system so that both of us could stay in touch with each other.
Mhm.
And we were considering not having one before that. Because we both had tried it before with different people and thought like it might not be necessary and it might save our relationship if we don't have one.
Yeah.
But as soon as they were gifted, we were like, perfect, this is great.
Right.
And we do find them really, really helpful in cities when it's much more likely that we get lost or separated from each other. And then once we're on the highway, boop, goodbye.
Yeah. Gifts are fun. And thank you to Truth Seeker from BC for gifting 5 Critter Moto memberships. So whoever wants to jump on those, go for it. Thanks so much for that.
How does that
Angel,
work? They gift them and just put them up there and anybody can go grab them?
you just go grab them.
Sweet.
So Angel Face, what if on one of your adventure motorcycles you occasionally read quotes from your books as they apply?
You know, I tend to kind of be done with my, like, promoting books is one thing, but I kind of sometimes forget what I've written. So I'd have to go back and read them all.
Right.
That's part of the reason that I do write books, is to process what the trip meant. And in motorcycle therapy, the trip meant I needed to grow. I was a 30-year-old man, and I just had a bad breakup. And then I ruined a relationship with a friend, more or less. And so that book had to be written for me to understand that I have growing to do. Then Through Dust and Darkness, that was me when I was in the middle of kind of deconstructing my faith, I would say. I was raised in a very, not to talk about religion, but it does touch on my upbringing a little bit in a very cloistered community, and me processing that. So once I'm done with these themes and these revelations, or whatever you want to call them, I kind of put them down. I kind of put them aside.
And then other people remind you.
Yeah.
There's a couple here in the Bow Valley somewhere, Banff or Canmore.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember their names
I
because
do.
every
I
time they
definitely
see
do.
Jeremy, they just go, "Hey, rice and eggs." And if you've read Motorcycle Therapy, you'll understand the reference. And so I just call them the rice and eggs couple.
Mhm.
I noticed one up in here. Oh gosh, where did it go? From Trainee ADV. He was something about a signal light rant.
Oh yeah. Well, that's from Motorcycle Therapy. I was traveling with Trevor, and that was one thing that was just irking me like crazy. Because Trevor, talented mechanic, he could fix anything, but he grew up riding dirt bikes. And on dirt bikes, you do not have signal lights. So he would turn his signal light on, like for the day, and then just drive with that thing on. Yeah, and I would just, like, I'd find myself fixated on it, just looking at that light, blink, 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 blink. And I would try to signal them and let them know they should turn it off and whatnot. And so I do go off on a bit of a rant about signal lights and motorcycle therapy.
Yeah, that had me giggling actually, because I think we've all ridden with that person at some point in time.
Yeah, and I've been that person too. Like,
Yeah.
Elle is very quick to like be like, your signal light's on. Like,
Yeah.
okay, just give me a couple of like extra blinks when I turn a corner, and I'll cancel it. But no, not always. I don't always.
If I'm following, I want to know where you're actually trying to go.
I know. Elle, it's easy to lose, Elle. Remember in Mexico?
Yeah. It's not easy. You're a crazy driver. Like, there are differences in speed, and not just because he's more confident, but because he's a little bananas.
Well,
like, you take more risks.
Yes.
I've seen you almost I didn't know if there's a couple times when I thought, oh, there was once when I was like, he is drifting into oncoming traffic and there's nobody coming, but I'm a little bit afraid to like, should I turn on the intercom and be like, hey, or will that make it worse? Like, will I startle him so much that it sends him like, what do I do? Sorry, I swore. And he recovered barely. Like, I didn't think there was enough time once a truck was coming anyway. He managed, but yeah, he takes risks definitely more than I do on the motorcycle.
Do you want to talk about close calls?
Oh no.
We've all had close calls and lapses in judgment and concentration, but also not always, but I'm often the person out front who is doing the navigating. So I am sometimes looking at my phone and looking up, and my phone is telling me one thing and I'm not 100% sure. And in this case, in Mexico, I was doing that. I was looking and I realized, oh, the turn is right here. And I just hit it. And it was too quick for Elle to manage, and we got separated. And
now we're on a freeway, but opposite directions. And I want to stop immediately because at least our comm system is still in range. But I can't stop in the middle of a freeway. I was mad. Like, if you make last minute decisions like that, you got to check that I'm actually still with you and not a lane over with the car in between us and not possible for me to make it with you. I was mad. So then at least we had the discussion. Okay, if we do get separated, what do we do? And everybody just finds a hotel for the night and gets on Wi-Fi and reconnect tomorrow. Yeah,
our communication systems can only go so far. They were crackling and like out of range, and we got split up.
Yeah, it was stressful. I was mad at you.
Yeah, well, it's not the first time.
Yeah,
probably. Angel wants to know: do you two prefer the empty roads like riding to Tuck, or the busy roads like cities in India?
Well, I mean, I like a little bit of both, to be honest. Like the most chaotic roads I've ever ridden in my life are in Cairo, Egypt.
Okay.
And like a taxi driver, I remember actually like used his taxi to bump me out of his way, like intentionally. And it's just absolute chaos. But I do like cities actually. So like they've got interesting museums, and that's where like some of the coolest architecture is.
Sure, it's good to go to a city as a tourist, but riding a motorcycle through traffic is generally not the most fun experience. It's neat to say you've done it. It's neat to experience at some point in time, but generally open roads, that's where the therapy of motorcycle therapy comes in, I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
You can relax. You can.
They can get a little bit too open though. Like when we were in Peru, we had this flat tire in Peru. We had just left the Pan American Highway, and now we're going towards the Andes, I guess. But we're in this desert landscape before we get to the mountains, and I had a flat tire, and
no shade, no nothing,
no people. Like it was the quietest road that we had seen in South America, I think. So we were kind of beginning to run out of water. The sun was going down, and
we weren't good at fixing the tire.
We were not good at fixing the tire. In our defense, we were putting the rear tire was a Heidenau, which is notoriously the great tires, but they're notoriously difficult to fix because they're so stiff. But yeah, we needed to. We will practice more if we ever go on another big trip.
Honestly, just changing bicycle tires has helped a lot too. Same principle, but not so tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my chair just fell down.
No problem.
And on that note, let's get into some lighthearted and funny questions if you want.
All right. Bounce them off. Let's go.
Right. Okay. KLR versus BMW. Let's do some smack talk. On your Pan American ride, it was a KLR 650 and a BMW F700 GS.
Yep.
Which one complained more? Both rider and bike.
Well, the rider maybe not. I don't know, but the KLR definitely struggled in certain situations. I remember because I am typically faster. There was this one funny incident where we were approaching La Paz, right?
Bolivia,
in Bolivia, and it's really high elevation, and I am wringing the neck on my KLR 650, like just trying to get it to go. But it's a carbureted bike. It's high elevation, and all of a sudden, Elle was like riding with me.
Oh, it's so nice that you like ride with me instead of like way out in front, Jeremy.
Yep.
You actually like me and you want to ride with me. It's so nice. No, that was not what was happening
I
at
was
all.
Not at
going
all.
the maximum speed that bike could navigate at that elevation.
Mhm.
And Elle's bike was just loping along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did tow her
that's true.
into El Salvador.
Across an international border.
Yep.
Yeah, but I brought that tow rope specifically to tow Jeremy because I had towed him a few times just before that. And then you had battery problems.
Yeah.
And so we ended up push starting, which is work and sweaty. And so we learned to just pull starts with the tow rope. It was much easier.
Yeah, I first had battery problems with the KLR, which is not the KLR's fault, by the way. It was a battery problem, and I didn't keep up on like maintaining the levels. It was a bad, you had to add distilled water all the time,
Right.
and I let it down too low. And ever since that happened, it wouldn't ever really come back. So it was a problem, and then finally it gave up the ghost. And I couldn't find a battery for it anywhere. We were in Peru.
Yeah, got a new battery.
I did finally get a new battery, but that battery was just garbage, like
Yeah.
right from the hop. It was a horrible battery. So
I think that they hadn't charged it at the shop and they were like, but it's fine. You won't need to. Once you put it in your bike, just drive. And they didn't know exactly how far we were going to drive. And yeah, I think it didn't
Right.
get charged properly to begin with.
I snapped a subframe bolt on my KLR.
Yep.
Your bike had starter problems.
Yeah. So electronics on my bike was an issue. There's actually a recall for that bike. But the recall happened in Canada and I was not there. So I actually stopped at a TourTech shop in Ecuador and they just put in a new starter switch for me.
No, that was in El Salvador.
El Salvador?
Yeah.
Okay. It was an e-country.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, you can't make fun of the KLR 650 enough. Like it is a ridiculous motorcycle. I have had 4 of them, and now I've got a CRF 300. I'm selling my KLR, by the way, if anybody wants to buy one.
Oh, there you go. So
it's
you got bikes
70
for sale. You got a CD for sale.
Oh, yeah, it's got 70,000 kilometers on it, but it will find a home. But yeah, the bike is ridiculous, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find a lot of KLR owners are like that. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Strangely loyal.
it's ridiculous,
Yeah.
but it goes wherever the other bikes go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if you see a BMW, anything, you'll see a KLR there too.
Yeah. You're right, because I do hear that a lot. It's a lot of, yeah, I hate it, but I sure do love it.
Yeah.
It's just
I wish I had taken notes all the way, but it would have been a lot of detail because whenever we filled up for gas together and we had ridden the same amount, we woke up, we left the same place at the same time, traveled the same distance and got gas. And Jeremy always paid more. And I was like, my bike's better. It's so much more fuel efficient. I'm saving money. But then anytime I needed a service, he was laughing at me. Like it's a lot to take it in for a service when the valves need to be checked. So I wish I had compared the actual day-to-day cost and was able to compare now, but I didn't keep that much detailed notes.
I could probably get away with using vegetable oil in the
that's great. Hey, let's go with describing each other's riding style. Okay, so if you had to describe each other's riding style using only a music genre and a dessert, what would it be? Elle, you first.
Jeremy's music genre's got to be metal, not crazy hardcore, not the metalist of metal, but it's definitely something metal.
They call it dad metal.
Dad metal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good description.
Like Metallica,
Dad metal.
and Megadeth, and that kind of stuff.
That's the music genre for sure.
Yeah.
Dessert?
I
don't know. It's got to be messy. It just can't be something clean and tidy and pretty looking. It's got to be messy.
It's got to be like
what's that mud in a can or something, like chocolatey mud? There's a name for that. Somebody, I can't pull it out of my brain.
Grasshopper pie.
Something messy.
Okay.
But still
metal and messy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Elle would have to be like classic 70s folk music. Because it's kind of laid back, kind of gentle, very beautiful, a little bit slow.
You mean peaceful?
Yeah, peaceful. That's the word I was looking for.
But still passionate. Like a lot of the 70s folk stuff is very social activism stuff.
Filled with meaning, filled with purpose.
Good.
It's more the lyricism shines in her writing. And it's chocolate. Like whatever dessert, it's got to be dark chocolate. For no other reason than Like Elle is constantly like licking chocolate off of something.
Yeah.
Like if it's not, if
that
it's
was
not,
meant to be an innuendo, but okay.
no,
Yeah.
I mean like off of your interior of the motorcycle luggage that you
Yeah.
have, or off your windscreen,
Yeah.
or off your helmet.
Inside of my pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I stopped in Costa Rica at a chocolate farm because, of course, you have to stop and see one. And they had these chocolate, like it was the size of a hockey puck, these like pucks of chocolate. And he said, you should buy some and take them with you. I said, I'd love to, but I can't. It's going to melt. I can't take that with me. And he said, no. We're standing outside right now. We're in Costa Rica. It's 30 degrees. It's warm. It's not melting. This is not sugar and milk mixed with chocolate. This is pure ground cocoa beans. Like, this is real quality stuff. It's not going to melt on you. And I said, okay. And I bought as many as I could fit in my bag. Then I traveled to Nicaragua, and it was like 40 degrees one day, and there was no shade, and it was in black luggage. It melted. And I was not going to let that chocolate go to waste. I paid good money for it, and it's good quality. So I didn't go for dinner that night. I just sat in my little hostel room and licked chocolate off all the belongings inside my luggage.
Like a horse feed bag?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What was I going to say? There was something. Oh, shoot. I was like ready to say, and then it's just gone.
I stole your thunder.
Yeah, well, it's okay. That's right.
Jeremy, best day of my life video.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you've got this song. We played it at the very beginning of this show here.
Yep.
It's one of my faves of yours. I like it.
Thank you.
I've mentioned to you that your EP is on regular rotation in my library. But so you got fired for that song.
Yeah.
Now, if your boss is somehow, your old boss is somehow watching tonight, watching right now, what would you like to say to them?
You're wrong about everything. I don't know, man. It's to be honest, if I can be vulnerable here for a brief moment, I would say that I'm still dealing with some residual resentment, maybe not the right word, depression, maybe. Like I'm actually struggling with some mental health issues, and I think I've got to dig into that with some talk therapy, but also I think it goes back to like me as a 50-year-old man suddenly losing my job. But I do take comfort in the fact that I lost it in a ridiculous way.
Right.
So, I've been a garbage man for 10 years, wasn't thriving at that job, but it was great benefits and everything. And then I felt snubbed and slighted from what I think was an unwise decision by management. And then I let that fester and sit with me, and it actually really kind of broke me. And took me a year to get kind of over that. And then I wrote that song. I wrote a song about being a garbage man, and it was cathartic. It was like actually helpful. And it was like, okay, I think I've turned a corner here. And the next year I started kind of healing and recovering, but I still had this secure job, and I had money at the time. I don't really have much money now, but I did have a steady income. And so I went into the recording studio with that song, recorded it. And then what do you do when you record a song? You make a music video for it, which I filmed at work. And it was supposed to be tongue in cheek, but it was also like catharsis. And I put a lot of work into it. And I'm proud of that video, to be honest.
It's a great video.
Thank you. Yeah, like it made everybody laugh except my bosses. It didn't make any of them laugh. And so like 10 days after I published it, then I was basically fired. Now, they terminated me without cause, so I can't actually say like that I know definitively why.
Right.
But yeah, it was the video.
Yeah.
So, if I could do it all over again, I don't know what I would change or if I should change anything, because like that piece of work that I have out there now, it's on my YouTube channel. It's on both YouTube channels. I put it on my motorcycle channel too. Like I would be devastated if that piece of work didn't exist. So it's funny. I think it'll outlive me, I hope. And it'll give some people some laughs. And I think if you're a blue collar, especially middle-aged blue collar man, I think it might resonate with you.
Yeah, if anybody's in the chat or watching right now and you haven't seen it, head on over to his channel, click on it, watch it.
Yep.
It is definitely worth the watch, worth the listen to.
Thanks.
And yeah,
I'm trying to get up to 3 million views, but right now it's sitting just around 5,000. So on my music channel, which is just called Jeremy Kroeker Music, all of my music videos are there. That one's got almost 5,000 views. And then I republished it on my motorcycle channel for 2 reasons. One, because that channel is actually monetized. So I
Right.
earn a pittance. Like I think sometimes I make $50 on my channel, but I spend $30 on licensing for music.
I know.
So every now and then I get to like have a pint of beer because of
Right.
my YouTube earnings. Anyway, so it's on my music channel. That's where it's got the most views, but it's also on my motorcycle channel. So it gains like 2 or 3 cents every time somebody watches it.
Oh, it looks like he's yeah. Thank you, Corey. Corey's
Nice.
throwing it in there right now. He's throwing it. Corey's on the links.
And
All
then,
right.
so after I got fired, then
Sorry. That was for Corey. I was slow.
I took some time and kind of went to Belize and kind of licked my wounds a little bit there, but in a pleasant environment. And I rented a motorcycle and all that stuff. And then while I was in Belize, I called my uncle, who is an ice road trucker in Manitoba, and I was like, "Hey, man, no job." He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm sitting on a beach in Belize drinking rum." He's like, "Well, put the bottle of rum down, come out to Manitoba, and you can work as an ice road trucker." So I went right from Belize to Manitoba, where I spent last winter working as an ice road trucker. And then I also made a music video about that job.
Yeah.
But I asked for permission first. So
Oh,
that one I was like, maybe I should run this past my employers. And
Right.
they said, yeah, it looks great. Publish it. So
yeah. Oh, you mentioned Belize, eh?
Yeah.
Can you guys read that?
yes.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flippy Belize. Okay, so yeah, a little shameless self-promotion here. The
What do you-
Get Lost Find Yourself Foundation is doing a Belize trip in November.
Awesome.
Tickets are on sale now at gliffy.org. It is one of our minis, so there's an educational component to it. It is also just going to Belize and riding motorcycles, and there'll be a little bit of a course. And yeah,
Where
okay.
are you basing it out of?
Do you know Emma
Yeah.
Cassidy?
Know her very well.
Yeah.
Fresh Pad Belize. So
Yeah.
Did she stay with us?
I met up with Emma in at Touratech this year, and she started asking me who I was and what I was about, and I started telling her about the foundation, everything that we had done, and then oddly enough, she was at Horizons. And she's like, "Hey!" And then she says, after talking with you, I looked you up and I'd been following her on Instagram for a while, but she went and deep dove into everything that the foundation was about. And she says, "I need to be part of this.
Right
I
on.
want to be part of this." So I'm like, "Oh, well, what can we do?" So anyways, it's basically at her cost to get the folks there, and every dollar that's made goes back to the foundation, goes back into the mental health support.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So she's top shelf, and
Yeah.
that's where I ended up. So I went, it's kind of another long story, but I went to Belize, burst my eardrum scuba diving. So then I went, well, I can't dive anymore. So I went to Belize and rented a motorcycle from her. And I do have like a month's worth of motorcycle content from Belize that I still need to edit and put together on my YouTube channel. But haven't done that yet. That was my next project. But yeah, she's top shelf. The place is beautiful, and the motorcycles are fun to ride. And
the location in Belize is great.
oh yeah,
Yes,
great.
yeah, and she's been posting a lot of. They're doing a lot of renovations and updates and upgradings, and it's going to be pretty wild.
Yeah. So for your event, people just need to get themselves to Belize, and then a motorcycle will be there. And what else?
Everything
A
else
place
is
to
taken care
stay? For how long is the event?
of. For the full 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah,
Some
full-
educational, some course, and some free time to just ride around.
Daily rides.
Okay.
I don't think her itinerary has any. There's like free evenings where you can go down to the beach or whatever. But pretty much every day is a ride. I think one day is a Tropic Explore Day.
Yeah.
But it's basically that. And then basically, like our minis that we had this year, the course is just basically a 45-minute, half hour, 45-minute little thing. This year, we did a course on how to help.
Nice.
So that's basically giving people tools in their toolbox to help out their loved one who may be having a tough time. How do you start the conversation? How do you make that first step? How do you approach without putting them off and having them put up the
How do you remain non-judgmental and open?
That's right. So it was just a quick little course like that. We'll probably do much the same
right on.
in Belize as well. It should be a lot of fun. I think it will be a lot of fun. It'll be great.
Within an hour of Emma's place, there's a chocolate place where you can learn how to make your own, and they teach you the ceremonial ways of the Maya.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really dark chocolate. I love it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a question about chocolate.
Okay.
What does it say? Oh, let me see here. Elle, your tagline is basically two-wheel traveler best paired with chocolate.
True story.
So, if you had to design a motorcycle training course where every lesson was explained using chocolate metaphors, what would one of those lessons sound like?
Yeah, I know it's your question, but I've got some thoughts.
Curious. I'll start with it. I think that good chocolate is dark chocolate, and it should be savored slowly. And I think, like we already mentioned earlier in this conversation, when you're new and someone says, the clutch, just let it out when you want to go. The clutch needs to be let out slowly. So I would put some kind of metaphor in there of like, you don't just take really good, expensive, quality chocolate and you got to savor it and let it melt slowly. So same thing with the clutch. You got to be smooth. You got to.
That's the word I was going to suggest.
Communicate.
Good
together.
Chocolate should be smooth.
It's a relationship. Smooth.
Yeah.
There we
smooth.
go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got. Let's talk about packing regrets. So on your big travels, your long journeys, were there ever any items that you took that you brought and you came to another border and you just said, we are not bringing that thing any further?
Egg carrier.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
What?
I don't know why I thought it was a good thing. I think before I traveled with someone who loved this egg carrier, because if you want to go buy some groceries and then cook later, carrying eggs in a motorcycle is not easy. So we had this plastic thing, and I'm like, this was so helpful on previous trips. I'll bring it on this one too. It's a 6-pack of eggs, but it's plastic.
Right.
And it'll help protect eggs if you want to carry 6 eggs around.
Yep.
But if you don't do that on a regular basis, it's a plastic thing that takes up a lot of space and was not getting used. I think I actually gave it away to some fellow travelers at a HU meeting in Ecuador.
That's right.
Yeah. I think I used it as a musical instrument one time. I put some coins in there and closed it and shook it like a tambourine.
Yeah. And I can't remember what we gave away in BC.
To Brian.
Yeah, we basically rode 300 kilometers and just overloaded. I was like the junk lady from The Labyrinth, if you remember that movie.
Yes.
With David Bowie. Anyway, we gave away so much stuff, mostly
Layers
clothes
clothing,
and books. Like I think we had like a.
I'll bring a book. Don't bring a book. Bring a Kindle if you want, but don't bring a book.
Oh yeah, but I had the guidebook, right, for South America, The Lonely Planet. And
you did carry that with you.
I carried it forever until
Chile.
Till a bottle of engine oil exploded in my bag
all over
and covered that book and just made a soggy mess. Yep.
Yeah. Rip out some pages and bring them with you, or get the digital version.
There's something about flipping through a book, though. But yeah.
All right, let's go to who drops it and who picks it up. So between the two of you, who's more likely to drop their bike, and who's more likely to pretend they meant to do it and turn it into a demo on how to pick it up properly?
I'd like to try to pretend I meant to do it, but I don't think that I ever pulled the wool over Jeremy's eyes. We kept count. I dropped my bike way more. I think I had like 10 or 11, 12 drops, and Jeremy had like 4, maybe 3.
But if you include the average speed per drop, I'm the clear winner.
Right.
Like I will drop a motorcycle sometimes going 60 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, that's a crash to me.
Well, that just happened one time.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know how fast I was going because the road was such that I was like looking at my speedometer and then looking at the road, and it was somewhere between, like the slowest I was going was 40 and the fastest I was going was 70. and I think it was closer to the fast end. Yeah.
He was up by the time I got there. And then there was a time, I think in Colombia, I was mad. I was like, stupid road is covered in stupid mud and there's stupid ruts. And why are we on this stupid road and stupid following Jeremy? And then you pulled off the road, but it was not easy. Like it was a corner and then a skinny driveway and it was rough. And I was so mad. And I pulled in beside you and I pulled in way too close. Like it's a parking lot. He's stopped, he's parked. And I pull in right beside him. And then before I could get my kickstand down, the ground is uneven and I couldn't reach with my feet. And so I start falling over and I'm falling into Jeremy and his bike is going to fall over too, just like dominoes. But all he did was like push me back up with my finger. And then I was okay again. And then I'm like, why are we even stopping? What's going on? And I realized it's a chocolate store. He saw a chocolate store. So he stopped. It was beautiful. But I had to stop being grumpy to appreciate it.
Okay, so we talked a lot about snacks and how important snacks are. So you each get 3 picks of your ultimate long day in the saddle snack lineup.
Chocolate. And chocolate.
It says here, once one of you picks it, the other can't have it.
Oh.
So the other can't select it or the other can't have it to eat. Like, yeah. I mean, okay.
Chocolate.
Yeah. So
dark chocolate.
So she'll go with dark chocolate, and I'm okay with not having that. I would go with turkey jerky.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I'm a vegetarian.
She's a vegetarian, so I would go with that. It's slightly healthier. It's not that healthy, but it's like highly protein, and it's exactly what I crave. So
probably dried fruit.
Turkey jerky. Yeah, dried fruit. And I don't care about that either.
Yeah.
Here's one that might be a problem though, because I would select some kind of nuts, like almonds, salted almonds.
You don't want to share your nuts with me, Jeremy?
Well, it's a game. We have to pick. No. So far we did good though.
Yeah, you got turkey jerky and almonds.
Yeah.
Right. And you got chocolate and dried fruit.
Yeah.
We're missing one from each.
You're supposed to pick beer or something else like that. I want almonds.
For snacks on the road.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, that'll be my next one then.
Can I just pick chocolate again?
Yep.
Okay.
Then I will have, like, not to advocate drinking and riding, but I would have some kind of cold alcoholic beverage for after the bike is parked. Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe whiskey, and that wouldn't bother her either.
No. Is there ever? I'm curious. With you just mentioned you're a vegetarian. I didn't realize that. Is there ever an issue with that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I do pretty good. I've been a vegetarian for a long time. But there were some challenges. Cities, anytime I'm in a big city anywhere in the world, you're going to find stuff. It's going to be okay. But remote locations like Peru, Bolivia, up in the mountains, there were times when there's no options. There's like one place with one lady cooking in one pot, and you can't say I want this and not that. There's just whatever's in the pot.
I'll take the food.
So traveling with Jeremy is great because I just take stuff out of my bowl. So I'm sure like it was probably some chicken broth in the soup, but when it came to actual bones and stuff, I gave them to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. I'm just looking at the last little bit of questions here, and I'm realizing that we're almost at our 2-hour mark here.
Woohoo! It's been 2 hours, so we can talk about a bit more.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So, if anybody down in the comments there want to fire in the last couple of questions, feel free to go for it. Here's one.
So, Angel has asked this now 3 or 4 times. So
yes. How far east have you ridden in Canada?
In Canada, not very far. I think Toronto is probably as far east as I've ever been with my motorcycle. I've been farther east than that, but not with my motorcycle.
Yeah. My motorcycle, I don't think I've even been into Saskatchewan. East is not my favorite direction in Canada.
And the only reason that I have ridden in Toronto is because that's where I shipped my motorcycle from after riding around the Middle East and North Africa. Then I shipped my bike from England to Toronto, and it was in January, February, March. That's right. So it was in March. So I landed in Toronto in a snowstorm picked up my motorcycle and started riding back to Canmore, Alberta. And it was like a brutal snowstorm. There were literally like vehicles in the ditch.
Oh,
Tow
wow.
trucks were pulling them out, and I was puttering by on my KR. Like the tire tracks had been like worn dry a little bit.
Yeah.
So I wasn't in the freshest of the snow. And yeah, that's how I rode home. It was brutal.
Jeremy's good
Crazy,
at being in those
crazy.
situations, not complaining about him.
Well,
Yeah.
and not planning ahead is the problem.
Well, speaking of riding east, you guys know Craig, right? Craig Luke, I think we missed a turn, and he's
Yep.
doing the TCAT next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
You guys have any desire to do the TCAT?
Sure.
Yeah,
I've got-
someday, but there's so much of the world to see too.
Right.
This might be misguided and I might be regretting it later, but I kind of feel like I can do more of Canada later, like when I'm retired, but
Uh-huh.
I want to do more of the world out there, especially potentially dangerous, safer to go with two people kind of stuff,
Right.
while we are
The-
as young as we're ever going to be.
The TCAT might be a situation where you and I don't ride together.
Yeah, that's true. That's fine. And maybe whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I could go slow. Like you're not also learning a new language and figuring out all the things at the same time.
Right.
It doesn't feel quite as scary as traveling through a country that I've never even been to in my life, and I don't even know what language they speak or what the currency is, and I have to learn all that as I go.
Mhm.
So yeah, I want to ride a motorcycle everywhere it's possible to ride a motorcycle, to all spaces on the planet.
That's
Yeah.
the problem.
It's just hard to decide which one is next.
That's the problem is that, our desire, like our eyes are bigger than our stomachs, kind
Mhm.
of. We both work and we both, make money here and there, but we don't have a lot of money. So it's actually really challenging for us to save up enough money and have the time to do this.
Yeah.
Not to complain, like that's just the way it is. But
Mhm.
No, I'll take 8 of those as well. Like I just want to go everywhere. I want to ride everywhere. I want to ride all the time. So, and Angel's
Can I
right.
throw in?
As soon as she comments here is that, she brought that up. She knew I'd go to TCAT right away because I talk about that quite a bit. It's high on my list of things to do. Okay. Let me see.
One thing to impromptu add in a thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Women Riders World Relay. Are you familiar with this?
No.
Oh, okay. So the Women Riders World Relay connects women all over the entire planet who are motorcycle riders or even passengers. It happened in 2019. It was a record-breaking world relay. It's the biggest motorcycle relay that's ever happened. And there was a physical baton that got passed, like from city to city, rider to rider, across the planet. They want to do it again. So there's
That's cool.
in 2026, starting like on January 1st of 2026, but it's digital. Instead of a physical baton that gets passed, the people who weren't able to be at the right spot at the right time when it was in their country couldn't join in. So they did like ripple relays and other things. And they went, oh, a lot of people want to do this and they want to be as inclusive as possible. So it's an app now. And somebody that you know is the Canadian ambassador for the Women Riders World Relay.
Who's that?
What I want to get as
That's
many
awesome.
people in Canada aware of this. You don't have to be female to get the app downloaded. You can go ahead and join the app, download it. It's free. But the women specifically will be the ones passing the baton to each other. So you have to
cool.
meet up with other riders and have the app and then meet each other and agree to pass it to each other. And there's like bonus points for passing it to someone in another country or someone who hasn't already got it yet.
And
Right.
you're a passenger too, right?
Yeah. If you're a passenger, it doesn't matter. If you're into motorcycles and you're a woman, you want to learn more about it, there's all kinds of cool things going to be happening throughout the entire year of 2026. So
I love that.
pass the
That's
word
awesome.
on, let others know, send them to me if they have questions and they're Canadian women.
So will you like you say you're the ambassador? Are you going to be riding a leg of it as well?
So yeah, the actual relay will take place throughout the year. So there's not a specific date and time. It's throughout the year whenever. And so my first question was, January sucks in Canada. We're not going to be on our motorcycles. And they said, you don't have to be physically on your bike at the time, just has to be motorcycle related. So we are actually going to be going to Manitoba. And I'm thinking that Manitoba is kind of like the middle of Canada. So
Right.
January 2, I haven't found a specific location and agreed to it yet, but I'm hoping that I can say, all right, everybody who's available in Manitoba, come meet me on January 2. I will be the first Canadian person to have the baton, and I'll pass it to whoever wants to come meet me. And then wherever you go after with your day with me, you can pass it on to whoever else you meet. And if we start in the center of Canada, it'll be a hopefully easier way to spread it out across the whole country throughout
I
the
like
year.
that.
And
I
then
like that. That's
more
awesome.
events throughout the year, like Horizons Unlimited or events like yours. Let's all share the word and pass it on to each other.
Yeah. No, that's great. Awesome. Cool. We got the link right there on the
Yeah,
screen.
you do. Awesome.
So yeah,
Thanks.
that's great. Yeah, I love that. Let me see here. I think we're pretty much geographical center.
Yeah, I've been to that sign. I got a picture there. It's cold and snowy and there's nothing else around.
Yeah.
We could meet there too, but Winnipeg might be a little nicer.
It's actually developed a little bit since you were there last.
Well, really?
Well, yeah, there's still like not much development, but there's like a gift shop there and stuff now. Yeah.
All right.
Let me see. Angel wants to know if you can make the greatest Alberta Badlands motorcycle video in 2026. The Badlands are pretty cool. I have not seen them.
We're looking for ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, guys.
We have some adventures that we're in the current dreaming stages right now.
Yes.
So it's too early to announce.
That's why I didn't ask, because I knew you guys were, and that
we can't announce it, but it's getting closer. Like the talk is actually starting to solidify.
Oh, is it?
Quite exciting.
Yeah, we've actually spoken.
Oh, she just wants to burst. She just wants to.
I know. But I have like commitments and jobs, and so until we know more concrete that this is actually going to happen, I don't want to say yet.
Yeah, so we're not even.
The planning is building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Will you be at be at Horizons this year?
Good chance.
Maybe. Yeah.
Good chance. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'd like to see you there. That'd be great if you did. What are you
not
doing?
The motorcycle shows, alas. I missed
no,
the
you won't be the motorcycle show.
So much.
Yeah, I'll be at the motorcycle shows because I'll be with my school, Motology. We'll have a booth there at the Calgary one.
But not the Vancouver one.
No.
What are you guys doing in September?
September. Oh yeah. Well, so that's the thing that we can't quite talk about. So we might be. It looks
on
like
a new adventure.
Yeah, we might be on a new adventure, and you'll have to just. Yeah.
Because there's this.
I know.
There's this little event that happens in September, and we're actually doing two this year. We're doing one of the last weekend of August, so the August long weekend, and then the first weekend of September. We have two happening this year. So
well, if something takes if something changes, and we are around for September, I shouldn't even be that specific, should I? But anyway. Yeah, I'm looking for an opportunity to come visit you for sure.
Okay.
This year 2026 might not work.
No, that's okay. Gliffy's not going anywhere, so
all right,
we'll have you next year.
Good.
Yeah, it's growing now, right? Yeah.
Guys, it's like I said, it's been a little over 2 hours. I'm super stoked that we were able to keep the conversation going as long as we did. Thank you so much for coming. I would love to sit and chat with you longer and longer and longer. We could probably do this again another time. I do have dad duties to get to, though. I gotta get my littlest to bed right now. It is Thursday. I don't know if you guys do Christmas or whatever, but so you do, great. I wish you both a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. And
right back at you.
Thank you to everyone here who's come and hung out with us. It's been great.
Thanks everybody.
Go and check out Jeremy's website is
motorcycletherapy.com, oscillatorpress.com, and then my YouTube channel, Jeremy Kroeker. And it's a weird spelling. It's Kroeker, but it's pronounced Kroeker. That's how we say it in Manitoba. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I've been saying it wrong all this time.
Most everybody has, so it's all right.
But yeah, hit his website, go buy his stuff. Let's get these people funded for their trip, and then that way we can watch the videos of it.
Yeah.
And read the books of it.
Yeah.
So
no pressure. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks. And with that, I'm going to say good night, everybody. Love you all. Thanks for staying and hanging out. And I'm going to end the stream. You guys will be right there for a minute. You guys don't disappear until I do my thing. Wait. Corey, thank you so much. Thank you for hanging out and doing your thing. I'll give you one of those. Yeah. Oh, we'll give you another one of those. Wait. Would you stop that? He's playing with the buttons at the same time I am. Okay, goodbye. All right. Okay. Good night, everybody. And the stream's out. I'm going to press the button. It's going to take some time.